How to stay motivated in English. Do you remember when you started to learn English and you were hugely motivated only to see that motivation vanish a few weeks or months later? I've seen it with my students. You start off full of beans and you do all the homework and you start the course, and then life just gets in the way and you hit a roadblock and your energy and love of learning just dwindles away. And this could be dangerous because learning a language takes a lot of time. And if you don't stick with it for the long term, your hopes and dreams of learning English can go out the door. But I've got some good news. There are ways to keep up your motivation with the right strategies. You can keep your motivation going right through your language journey. So let's get into it. Number one, you need to regularly remind yourself why you're learning English. You need to think about all the things that you want to do when you speak English well. It could be having conversations with other travelers. It could be presenting a meeting in English. It could be standing in front of a classroom teaching English really well. It could be sitting around a dinner table, conversing with friends, laughing at jokes, and just feeling really, really comfortable. You need to be able to imagine these scenes, and to do this, find a quiet place and mentally picture yourself doing these things. Tap into those desires. Imagine yourself doing whatever you want to do in English, and allow yourself to feel the emotions you would feel if this were to happen, or should I say, when this will happen. But you will need to do this regularly. This exercise needs to be done regularly. And in order to make it easier to get back into that zone, I want you to write down, in your own language if necessary, a description of this scene. This way you can read it again and again to help you conjure up those images whenever you need a little boost of motivation. Focus on the process. While having goals are great, it's also very important to set your mind on the process, on the system, on the planning. Plan what you can do every day in order to reach your goal. So ask yourself at the start of each week, how long can I dedicate to my English language journey? What can I do today? It's good to set aside a time to plan, say 15 to 30 minutes, maybe on a Sunday evening or a Monday morning, to plan out your week. Set a realistic amount of time for your English every week. Start off small, 15, 20, 30 minutes a day, for example. And this could include preparing for a class you're taking, doing some pronunciation revision, doing part of an online course. 3, regularly ask yourself if you find your learning activities fun and challenging. If you start to get bored, then you're not going to learn anything. If, for example, you're doing grammar exercises constantly, but after a while you start to hate doing grammar, or you start skipping English learning because the thought of just doing grammar just doesn't excite you, change it up. Do something different that is more fun for you, but is also challenging at the same time. Could be some writing, some reading, some revising, vocabulary, pronunciation, watching Netflix and taking notes of any new vocabulary. If you kind of regularly mix things up, the chances of you getting bored are less likely and you'll keep going. Last point I have is to find someone that you can have a meaningful conversation with in English. If you're not having any conversations in English, except in a class environment or about grammar or vocabulary, then it's hard to really find a connection with English. You know, there's time for study, but there comes a time when you need to have proper conversations, especially if you are intermediate and above. It's so important to talk about the things you care about. It's really through these conversations that your love for the language will grow, and you'll stimulate your desire to learn new vocabulary, and it will reignite your desire to be able to communicate in this language. But you might ask, Kathryn, well, where can I find someone to talk to? If you don't really have anyone, you can Well, you can visualize yourself having a conversation with someone. Why not? I know this might sound like a bit crazy if you talk to yourself. I do it all the time. But you can visualize your conversation and then even speak out loud. I mean, it's better than nothing, right? If you really, really cannot find a partner. Or you can find a speaking partner online with websites like italki or Preply. I'll put links in the description below. You could also find a tutor or conversation classes where you can talk about a range of different and interesting topics. You can actually find a speaking partner in my Fluency Club. I offer conversation classes for intermediate level students and above, where we have like 12 to 16 classes a month on a wide variety of cool topics, and that will really help you build your vocabulary, improve your speaking skills. And the groups are small and the people from all around the world. The conversations are fascinating, but you can also connect with these students in the Fluency Club to see if they want to connect outside of the main group classes. Again, I'll put a link to my Fluency Club in the description below. Now you have some great strategies for staying motivated when learning a language. Find your why and keep reminding yourself. Have a plan and system in place to learn English. Keep it fresh and interesting. If you feel yourself getting bored, switch it up, change it round so that you still find it fun and interesting. Find someone or a group to have meaningful conversations with. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I share a new video. Thanks and see you next time.